All right, let's get a little closer. Come on, this is night shift. Get up, nice, personal, big family. Give you a good briefing tonight. It's a little warmer tonight. Get you in nice and tight so you see everything. So let's begin. Good evening and welcome to the Spokane Fire Complex operational briefing for August 7th. Name's John Germanetti, Plants Chief for California Team 7, and we'll start with our operational briefing. Current situation.
Hi, my name's Sean Craig, the day operations for California Team 7. First of all, we've had a really good day today, so there's a lot of good news to report out to you guys. There is still work, however. First of all, over on the Autumn Lane fire, Division X-Ray worked a lot of these green islands. They're right along the Spokane River. They got guys in there cutting stuff out and isolating stuff so that it'll go out near the river. One of the big concerns up there today was this part of the fire up by drop point 13. In that area, we found heat in the Green Islands about 100 feet in, so we put a lot of extra effort in there and mopped those up. Coming around the corner, all the way down into SS, we did find some heat and some smoke producers down on the Little Spokane, down at the bottom here in the marshy area. That is still producing a little bit of smoke, but it's totally isolated in wet areas. Overall in this fire, about 150-foot mop-up complete, in some areas as far as 200 feet complete, and starting to be a search and destroy mission kind of fire. Moving down to Old Trails fire, guys were reporting about 150 feet, same kind of thing as Autumn Trail, but probably less smokes and less concentrations of heat. Just had to look harder and find more to find all the heat. The big story on Old Trails was that we had a handful of IAs from that fire, so we did support the local agencies, and we did respond with some of our resources. So be heads up at night that you could get called to fires, especially with the winds later in the night. Now the big story, the Fairview fire, these guys got 200 feet of mop-up done, except for right here where the recycle plant is. But we do have that monitor program going on. A lot of water going on that thing. It's going to be about a 2 to 3 day project to put that out. And then that thing will be done. And this fire is more of a search and destroy mission fire. So thank you and have a safe night shift.
All right. Test. So for our incident objectives, there's been no change. So please take an opportunity to read those and take an opportunity to go over it with your crew, because that is our marching orders from our AAs and our ICs. And now our weather.
Good evening or morning. Things have changed a little bit, no? It's a little bit warmer, a little bit breezier. We've got some evening breezes, especially up on the higher bench and shelves west of the Spokane River. And that's where the strongest winds were today, but they did filter down into the lower elevations and skip up the Autumn Lane and also Fairview as well. We had some 10-mile-an-hour gusts to 20. So we kind of have the remnants of that going on right now this evening. One caveat here is that we need to be cognizant of potential gusts overnight to 20 miles per hour. The reason being is that we do have a weak cold front moving overnight through the area, okay? So what's going to happen is you'll get some inversions into the Spokane River. In particular, the very lowest elevations, likely the inversions will set in and the winds will skip over. But up on the higher elevations to the west of the river and a little bit to the east of the river and the higher elevations, you could see those gusts come up suddenly. So I just want you to be aware that if you happen to have a surprise wind, that's why. Most likely it would be from the west-southwest and on the west and south exposures of any terrain. Temperatures tonight will be 55 to 65, warmer than you're used to. Relative humidities will be poor recoveries for the most part, except in the Spokane River will be hanging around 60%. The rest of the areas, especially mid-slopes and ridges, will be more like 40 to 50%. So it's a different feel, and there's a reason for that. We have some unsettled weather. Be safe out there. Have a good night.
Good evening, Ryan Swanson with Fire Behavior. With the weather that we've had all day today, the fuels have had another day of drying prior to your shift. And remember, this has been ongoing now for multiple days. The fuel dryness is the lowest at its point for fire season right now. And on top of that, we are setting records, 21-year records for dryness in your 1 hour, 10 hour, 100 hour, and 1,000 hour dead fuels. Meaning that tonight the burn period is going to prolong through your shift, and especially if those winds set in, the fuels will not have responded to the environment, and the burn period could prolong through all of night shift. Fuels, with how dry they are going to be the main driver of your fire tonight. So if you do get a new ignition, initial attack, or a spot outside the line, the fuels will drive the fire without slope or wind. If you add slope or wind on top of that, you will have more rapid rates of spread. And then the last thing is, remember, even as your relative humidities start coming up tonight, the fuels are going to be the last to respond. They have a time lag. They are behind the relative humidity as it comes up. So as you guys are slinging weather tonight, your humidities come up. Remember that the fuels are going to be the slowest to respond. Have a good, safe shift. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Joe Tiso, Night Operations, and we're going to start off with the roll call. In Autumn Lane, we have Garrett Prater. For those of you that may be new to the incident, they're over there. And then Old Trails, we have Brian Brennan and Nick Chapin as his trainee. And Fairview, Mark Seastrom. So I know the past few nights, it's mop up and patrol, and it's easy to get lulled into that complacent mindset. But today we had a few new starts, and they were able to jump on them right away and get them under control. That could happen again tonight. Like you said, we have hot, dry weather. We have winds picking up. So even though you're mopping up and patrolling, don't get lulled into that complacent mindset, because at any time we could have to reflex and go out and get any start and be game on. So appreciate your attention to detail. Get a good thorough mop up, and we'll have a good night. See you in the morning.
Good evening, John Crotty, Air Ops for Team 7. Unmanned Romeo 3-1 was mainly working the top of Division Mike and Division Delta Delta up there on Autumn Lane fire today. Was finding some IR signatures for heat for you to look at if they haven't picked it up with the day shift that's still out there. Other thing I wanted to talk to you about, it's been a few nights since we've been up on the stage here for you, but think about a night medevac stuff and how you would signal in a night helicopter from Life Flight. This airport right off the north here of us is where they come out of, so they're that fast to get up to our fire areas. Old Trails, Fairview, pretty much a drive-out show. They're going to be just as fast getting out there. Up here on Autumn Lane, it's about a 50-minute drive from drop point 13 to get down to the hospitals here. So this air ambulance can lift in 8 minutes and be over the fire in another 6 or 7. So think about how you would describe where you're at. One of the tricks that works, take a red chem light, spin it like you're spinning weather, and in their night vision goggles with that helicopter, it comes out like a big buzz saw. So it really lights it up, and they know right away where you're at. Besides using your strobes, all these unimproved landing zones that we briefed Branch and Division just a few minutes ago that we found today out there are all drive-to sites. So turn your light bars on when that helicopter gets close, be on that VMed 29, talk them in to assist you if needed. Have a great shift. Thanks.
Hey, good evening, night shift. Ron Oatman, safety trainee. We're going to talk about two things real quick. One, Camp Crud's starting to go around. I don't need to tell you about washing your hands and stuff, but we do have a bunch of freebies over here. We're all sticking our hands in an ice chest to get an energy drink and all that kind of stuff. Let's not be sticking dirty hands in that ice chest, and let's keep that Camp Crud from going around. So more importantly, raise your hand if you've ever been to a burn center. Okay, I'm hoping you haven't been there for yourselves, but maybe you've been there for your brothers or sisters like I have before. They literally have to scrub dead skin off of burns. It's one of the most painful things that a human can go through. They have to scrub it off, and then they have to skin graft. That usually comes from somewhere that's kind of tender. Think about that being on your face. You got the burn on the face. Guess what skin's on your face for the rest of your life? So obviously that's a little dramatic, but the point is Ops talked about complacency and mopping up and all that kind of stuff. A simple trip and fall into an ash pit or something, and you didn't have your gloves on because you've been there all week or something like that. Keep that safety gear on. That's the main thing. And then there is no such thing as a minor burn. We've had 3 burns on this fire so far. One of them has been to the hospital twice and is now on the way home to go to a burn center following up after coming in as a minor burn. There's no such thing as a minor burn. Follow up on those. Thank you. Have a nice shift.
Good evening, everyone. Chris Oliver, Communications. So because of the weather and the heating up, we did change the IA zone for today, so go get a clone. The techs are right over here to my right. Also on your 205, you'll see a QR code there. There's some tips and trips for radios, some training stuff you can look at. If you have some time, take a look. Have a safe shift.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Matt Caffey, your Operations Medical Unit Leader. So as you can tell, this crew's been working really hard to provide you guys with some crews and also some intel on where we're going to be able to help you. Okay, I'm proud to say that we got our orders filled. We got great resources available. Autumn Lanes, you got a REMS, AMBO, and a set of medics, and as well as Old Trails. Okay, we worked hard to getting those orders filled. A lot of these folks have local knowledge. Glean off of them. Find the ways in and out to access your fires. Engage with our crews, our divisions, our branches. They're all well aware of our local IA folks that can also help you on the fire. So don't be surprised if you get a local engine or ambulance on your call. We're going to provide you with the closest resource to get you what you need. So stay safe out there, work hard, and report.
Good evening, Janine Hammond Logistics. Just a few things. Some of you already know ground support has moved across to Broadway. Fuel is there as well. We have plenty of snacks that have been donated. Go ahead and pick them up. And because it is so hot, there's also Mary Lou's ice cream is open if you want to grab an ice cream before you head out. Thanks. Have a safe shift.
Good morning, night shift. Brad Smith, training specialist with Team 7. If you're involved in the training program here, either as a trainee or a trainer, we really want to encourage you guys to use the Team 7 training webpage we built for you guys as a tool to help you manage your assignment. If you're an evaluator mentor, there are downloadable PDF performance evaluations in there. There's incident information for filling out that header on the top. There's even tips for writing effective performance evaluations. And if you're a trainee, there's links in there to register your assignment and a link to initiate the closeout with the training specialist when the time comes. So if you're a federal, state, or local government trainee and you haven't registered with us yet, we really want to encourage you to do that so that your assignment is counted in the permanent incident training record. That's important for you down the road, or could be. We're located in the main building adjacent to resources. Thanks.
All right, good evening, everybody. I'm Nick Elmquist. I'm one of the deputy ICs for California Team 7. I just wanted to highlight a few items before you guys go to your breakouts. One, it's nice to see all the additional black line on the map and containment increasing. That's all because of your hard work and the day shifts. This thing was a very complex, rapidly expanding fire when we got here last Saturday, and because of your hard work, it's in its current state. So just continue to remain vigilant. It's nice to have you at night watch. As you heard operations say, we continue to get new initial attacks every night or every day. Expect that to be possibility tonight. So take your time with your breakouts. Have a plan. There's a good coordinated effort with our local fire districts on what that's supposed to look like. Your leadership will know what that looks like, so take the time to talk about what that looks like if it happens. Lastly, we're continuing to see injuries increase on this incident. It's kind of this time of the incident where we start to see additional injuries. So just take your time, pay attention to details, look out after each other, and have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.
Alrighty, so for our breakouts, Autumn will be to my left, Old Trails will be out front, Fairview will be to my right. If you're unassigned, we'll capture you over to the right. More of my resource unit leaders will take care of that. And as always, have a safe shift.